Okay, welcome to the high school gymnasium for the awards of the girls basketball 2020 basketball season. We thought it would be appropriate for us to start off right at the center court where we ended every practice for 49 days in a row, or 49 days throughout the season. At this point in time, we'd always talk about what we did in practice, how we can improve, and how we were going to get better. So very appropriate for us to give the awards out here because we had a great group of kids this year, and they put out a lot of effort, and we asked a lot from them. They learned a lot of basketball, and they improved by leaps and bounds throughout the season. Our young kids really improved. If we would have filmed them the first day and showed them at the end of the year, the improvement was unbelievable. And I was real proud of each and every one of the kids. And I would like to thank the parents and the student athletes first and foremost, because it takes you guys to make this thing successful. And the next thing, I had a great coaching staff this year. Had two rookies with me that I hope that I mentored them and guided them through the season and helped them pursue of a career maybe in coaching on down the road. And then I had more of a veteran coach with Grace Miller. She had assisted a couple of years prior to working with me, and she did a great job for us, leading us throughout the season. And it was my pleasure to work with you ladies. I really appreciate it. Now I'm going to get on to the participants list, and I'm going to start from the bottom of the list, working upwards. And this is the person that always, when you do roll call and everything in class, they're always the last one. So we're going to start with this person to begin with, and that's Malia Ybarra. She was a freshman participant for us, and then she had a sister that they could go home and talk basketball and play one-on-one, which I'm sure that they did throughout the years of their growing up. And that's Alicia Ybarra. The next one is Alexis Trujillo. Alexis Trujillo is a freshman. Then the next one that we had was Azalea Stein. Then Jacqueline Skinner. Ariana Salazar. Michaela Rodriguez. Megan Melendez. Aliana Magana. Danica Mays. Raylan Landry, who was our manager, did a good job for us. The next one was Alexis Hogan. Then the next one on order would be Brianna Hernandez. And then the next one would be Rihanna Gonzalez. Then Madison Gonzalez. Juliana Gonzalez. Aubrey Gonzalez. Kind of have a trend going there. And then Khalees Gilbert. Shakira Gallegos. Annalisa Fernandez. Shelby Eck. Monique Mays. And last but not least, Haley Davidson. All those girls did a great job for us throughout the year, and they all are awarded participant of the girls basketball season this year. So greatly appreciated. And I could go through and share stories with each and every one of their high school season this year, and most of it was positive. I asked a lot of them about killed them 2 or 3 practices throughout the year. And I actually went home with some remorse after one practice because I think I did kill them, but they came back the next day nevertheless. So greatly appreciate for the effort and the time spent in the gym, and it was my pleasure, I'm sure as long with these ladies as their pleasure, to work with these young ladies throughout the season. So go Trojans, keep it going. Thank you very much for your effort, ladies. Okay, we're gonna start off with our awards, and so we're gonna start with the C team, which will be Coach Gonzalez and Coach Vida.
Hi Lady Trojans, Coach Gonzalez, C team. And I know it's not ideal, but I'm glad we get to acknowledge your basketball achievements. And I know this might sound cliche, but I'm really happy with the improvement through the season. We didn't get as many wins as we wanted, but we did improve. Our basketball skills did improve. Our mental toughness improved. Our attitudes even improved. And most importantly, I think we started working as a team. So I think that winning will follow that the years to come. And everybody did a great job, and these are the people that stood out in practice and on the court to us for C team. Leah?
Our most improved is Alexis Trujillo. She wasn't our best at the beginning, and she knew that, but she worked every practice and she showed up, and she ended up being one of our go-to players by the end of the season. Jackie Skinner she gets Miss Hustle. She was always sprinting, no matter where she was going or doing, or defense, offense, she was running and she was going hard. And our best defender is Aubrey Gonzalez. She tore it up in the paint, and she was really strong. Crazy plays that we didn't even expect from her, and when she gets older, she's definitely going to be more of a threat than she already is. So, yeah.
Nice job,
Good
ladies.
job, girls. Yeah.
Great job, ladies. They played their legs off throughout the season, and some of these girls were playing 2, 3, 4 games a week with our schedule this year, and it was greatly appreciated the effort that they made for the C team this year. And again, it was great to see the improvement that they accomplished throughout the season. Okay, now on to the JV awards.
Coach Miller for the girls JV, they did really great. We had half C team and half varsity, and they put in work all throughout the year. So we're really lucky to have the team that we had. So choosing these was very difficult, but for most improved, we chose Michaela Rodriguez. She put in effort all throughout the year. She always asked questions, and she worked really hard to improve herself. Best defender was Khalees Gilbert. It didn't matter if she was supposed to be down low. She was balls to the wall all the time.
No, you're good.
She fought until she couldn't fight anymore. Miss Hustle was Haley Davidson. For the 4 years that she has been here, she's always hustled. She was always on the floor. She always pushed herself. We were really lucky to have her. And we also included Brianna Hernandez for most heart. She maybe wasn't able to play as often as she could. She had a lot of different things going on, but she was always there to cheer her team on and to lift everybody up all the time. So we were really lucky to have her as well.
Again, what was really cool with the JV this year is their adaptability. Like Coach Miller said, that we were mixing and matching kids all year long, and I would come into the locker room prior to the game and say, hey, this kid's playing today, and whether they liked it or not, they played. So they adapted and were able to go out and be successful. And talking at the advancement of these kids that they made throughout the season, I think of one of the last games that Michaela Rodriguez played this year. She went off, scored 20 some odd points, and was just a force inside. And that's the type of development we were looking for in our C team and JV this year. And so it was real exciting to be a part of that. And for an individual to have success, the team has to have success. So even though maybe you didn't get an award with the C team or JV and you were participants in those particular teams, you guys were very much part of the formula at the end. So greatly appreciated from the coaches and the kids, and also the parents that follow us all over the place. We really appreciate that, and the student body for the Los Animas High School. Okay, next on to the varsity awards. The first thing I'm going to start off with is going into the season. It was, I wasn't sure exactly what we were going to be dealing with as far as who could do what and what have you. So it was a sorting out process, and we did that throughout the season. And I kept on telling them, from the very beginning in November to the very end in February, I said, we don't know who is going to be a part of the winning formula at the end of the year, but if you keep working, you will be rewarded. And I think that was definitely the case with the girls this year. We had some kids that didn't play hardly at all varsity action at the beginning of the year, and they ended up probably being our most important varsity players at the end of the year. And to get to that point, we had to have some senior leadership, and that was provided by our seniors, and they did a great job for us, and it was greatly appreciated the effort that they did. And we kind of flopped over our starting 5 throughout the season, and the kids just stuck with us and never really backed off a little bit. I thought that when we started slicing and dicing a little bit, we might lose the kids, and I couldn't kick them out of the gym. So a greatly appreciated effort from all the kids that stuck with us and made it to the varsity at the end of the year. So again, hats off to you young ladies. Letter winners, and in my particular lettering system, you gotta win a game in districts, and if you win a game in districts, at that point everybody on the team is suited lettered. So, and we do have a couple extra ones that just due to the fact that they participated for 4 years and had dedication to girls basketball, they deserve a letter as well. And I'm not sure if they had lettered prior to this, but they sure are going to letter this year. So I'm going to just read down the list of my letter winners this year. Madison Gonzalez. Madison played everywhere for us. She would do whatever I asked and was always willing to do what was needed. Juliana Gonzalez, another great senior leader for us, and she did some good things for us, especially at the end of the year when I asked a lot out of her. She gave a lot to me. Aliana Magana. Ali is a challenge to work with at times, and she questions stuff, which sometimes in a coach and player relationship was tough to deal with, but at the same time, the questions were always centered around being successful. So that was greatly appreciated from her. The next player that I had that lettered was Shelby Eck. Shelby, probably the most gifted athlete on her team, and at times she played really well, and at times she struggled, but she stuck with it and really appreciated her effort throughout the year. The next one was little Azalea Stein. Probably the littlest kid on the court every single night, just about, except for maybe Rihanna. But Azalea was probably the toughest kid out on the court at the same breath. So Azalea would always get the rebounds. I mean, I would look at my assistants and I said, how in the world did she get the ball there? But she would in the land of giants. A little 5'3" or whatever she was would come out of it and be tougher than nails. So great effort from her. Then the next one was my battle person. I could always count on her getting in foul trouble, which was not a bad deal, because she went out there and got after it, and that was Monique Mays. The next one was Danica Mays. Danica provided some offensive spark for us from time to time and came a long ways and learned a lot of basketball this year, greatly appreciated. Next one is Rihanna Gonzalez. Rihanna did a great job for us this year. She had a death in the family late in the year that kind of took her out of the game plan late in the season just because the kids, she missed like a week of practice, but Rihanna looking for big things on down the road from her. Then we had Megan Melendez, which was Monique 2. If anybody was going to get into a scrap, it was going to be Megan, and Megan was always out there battling, and she very seldom lost when it came to a confrontation out there. So Megan did a great job. And then here's a kid that just was really a pleasant kid to coach, and that was Alicia Yabar. Her ability to work inside at 5'4" or 5'5", whatever she was, she did some phenomenal things for us this year on the rebounding side and also from the offensive side, and she was our best free throw shooter throughout the season. So a lot of good things come from her. Then the next one that I'm going to talk about, very special player. Looking forward to seeing what she does on down the road with her career. It comes easy to her, very natural, and that's Malia Ybarra. The next one, she's very, very frustrating to coach, this kid, because she would go like crazy and fall down and get up and then go like crazy, and you tell her to get off the floor and get after it. And that's Annalise Fernandez, without a doubt. Big spark for us late in the season. I was able to do a lot of things with her. The next three young ladies that will letter will be due to the fact that they were dedicated basketball players to the Los Animas Trojans. That was Haley Davidson. Haley, at almost all the practices, and if she didn't make a practice, called in, very responsible, displayed a lot of the character traits we like to see come from our kids in our program, and my hat's off to that young lady for 4 years of basketball. And then the next one was one that I don't think she missed a practice all year long, and that was Shakira Gallegos. Shakira did a great job for us, and she was always willing to do whatever we asked, and I greatly appreciated her effort throughout the year. And the next one was Brianna Hernandez, and Brianna did a great job for us. Again, kind of hit and miss on the practices, but she was around the Trojan program for 4 years, and definitely a well-deserved letter for that young lady. So that's our letterers for the year, for this year. Again, it's well earned. These are not token letters. These are something that you earn, and these young ladies earned those letters. Going along with the lettering thing, there's some other things that we were able to accomplish this year and within our league. We didn't have any first team all-conference players, but we did have 2 honorable mention all-conference players. And one of them was, I thought, potentially should have been on the first team. I think that she was probably the best defensive player in the league. And she gave me a tool that I could utilize in the games to, neutralize another player or to help out and neutralize somebody inside with. And that was Juliana Gonzalez. And she, without a doubt, was a stud on the defensive end and did a great job for us, and really went through a learning process of learning to work within a team structure and all that process. So my hat's off to Juliana on her effort this year. And she was definitely a defensive stopper, kind of like my Dennis Rodman for those of you that are Bulls fans. And the next one was a scrapper. She was recognized through the fact that she was able to rebound and score for us on a pretty consistent basis, and that was Monique Mays. Okay, that is our letter winners and our honorable mention all-conference players. Now to the selection process of the team awards. And this year I had to kind of reconfigure our team awards because we had most offensive added to it. And if you go in and look to our book, all throughout the year, we had 14 different leading scorers in 19 games. So there wasn't really a player that came out and scored a lot of points that we could say that's the black hole, we're going to go there and we're going to score a lot of points. We had to scrap and fight for every bit of it, so I had to scratch that one. So I'm going to go to the best defensive player for the 2019-20 basketball season, Juliana Gonzalez, without a doubt, stopper, and very good player and a pleasure to coach. The next 2 that I'm going to give are the 2 of the people that did a lot of rebounding for us, and both of them were consistent on the boards, night in, night out that they played, and I called them the chairman of the boards, and that would be Aliana Magana and Alicia Ybarra. Both of them would get in there and battle, and both of them were less than 5'5", so maybe they were 5'6" if you ask them, but I want to measure them because I want to bet you that they're 5'4". But anyhow, they did a great job for me, and they did some great things inside, and I have to attribute that to Coach Miller and Coach Vita. They did a good job working with those girls and getting them to scrum in the paint and work inside for us, and they were appreciated for their work efforts. The next one, most improved, and again, I'm going to echo the same words I said earlier. I can't wait to watch this kid compete for the next 3 years because I think she's going to be something special, and that's Malia Ybarra. And then the final one is Miss Hustle. And Miss Hustle a lot is given to the kid that is willing to sacrifice the body. And I'm just looking at her floor right here, and I do believe if we swept it up, we could find some skin, and that would belong to Annalise Fernandez. Annalise did a good job for us, and I was able to utilize her and put her out on the point of our defense and harass the ball all the way down, and she did a fantastic job, and she's the heir apparent, I would say, to Juliana Gonzalez when it comes to being able to put a stopper on somebody in the next few seasons. So that wraps up our awards, and again, too bad that we couldn't do this face-to-face, that we have to do it virtual, but I want you to know from this coaching staff, you guys are greatly appreciated for your effort and for what you gave to us, and it will always be in our hearts what you did on the basketball court for the Trojans. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.